Okay, let's come together. Yeah, hello, billionaire. Bonjour, bonsoir. Okay, let's come together. Let me know where you are joining from. Let's know where you are joining from. Let's spread the word around. Tonight, the word of favor. Which number have you been calling? Oh, this same number on the screen. Call, send text, send WhatsApp. They will reach you back. Please just help us send the text or WhatsApp to the number. These are the two global numbers. Okay, Canada is in the house. Are you guys ready, Canada? We're on the way to you. So let's get ready for the School of Money, Toronto. Port Harcourt is in the house. Let's know where you are joining from. The Business Sustainability Summit 2024 foretaste. I'm going to be joined by the one and only. Well, I don't know this number, 081393. Sorry, I don't recognize that number, but the two numbers on the screen are the ones you should call. Kitchener, Ontario. Yeah, I'm coming to Canada. So let's get ready for the School of Money, Canada. It's going to be powerful. Abuja is in the house. Okay. So tonight is a foretaste of the Business Sustainability Summit 2024. I'm going to be joined by Dr. Niyi Adesanya, the one and only, the leadership guru himself, will be joining me tonight. So leadership guru, common sense guru. Oh my God. So let's come together, help spread the word around so that others too can join us. I'm telling you, tonight is going to be phenomenal. You're going to be learning a lot tonight as we share loads of stuff on this broadcast tonight. Business Sustainability Summit 2024, the foretaste. So we're going to be having a foretaste of the summit, and I'm expecting a lot of people to learn tonight. So let's come together, let's spread the word around. Tonight is going to be an amazing night. So much to learn, so much to learn. So much to learn. Okay, the time is now, is 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are all over the world. My name is Olumide Emmanuel, and I'm going to be your host for the next 1 hour to 90 minutes max will be done. And today we're going to be talking about the Business Sustainability Summit. We're going to be having a foretaste, and we're going to be learning a lot. So when you study business and you are conversant about the statistics out there about business, you realize that over 80% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. Over 80% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. And those that survive 5 years, many of them also do not even survive up to 10 years. So for a lot of people, starting a business, growing a business, and sustaining the business is a challenge. Some people find it difficult to start. A lot of people are out there that should be in business, but they are not in business because they are afraid of starting. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown has stopped a lot of people from starting. So some people, their issue is the starting problem. But for some people, they have started the business, but growing the business is their own problem. They have started, but they are finding it difficult to grow the business. They are finding it difficult to see the business grow and become the business of their dream. But there are some people that have started businesses, the business is growing, and their problem now is sustainability. Not just growing the business, but being able to sustain the business for decades. And then for some people, they've been able to sustain the business. They've started it, they've grown it, they've sustained it. Their problem now is transference. Their own is now, how do I transfer this business? How do I ensure that this business is now going to be transgenerational? And these are different sets of people with different set of unique challenges that require wisdom to be able to know what to do. So COVID came and a lot of businesses went belly up. COVID came and a lot of businesses could not continue. And then I realized, as someone that is a business consultant and a business coach, that we needed to put something together to have an annual summit where we'll continue to equip people with what it takes to be able to build transgenerational businesses and transgenerational organizations. Because when you look at businesses in this part of the world, you'll find out that only few businesses that are indigenous have been able to survive beyond the first, second, third generation. Many businesses die while the founder is still alive, and many businesses don't even survive after the death of the founder. So we need to learn, and that's why in 2001, was it 2021? Yeah, we started the Business Sustainability Summit, and it's been annual, 2021, 2022, 2023, and now we have the Business Sustainability Summit 2024. Now, in the last few years, we have hosted this event every last Friday of September. Every last Friday of September. And this year, we are also going to be doing the same. And we are expecting all the members of the Billionaires Conclave 2024 and a lot of other people that are interested to join us and be a part of this event. So on Friday, the 27th of September, at the Sheraton Hotel in Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria, we're going to be hosting the 2024 edition of the Business Sustainability Summit. And the uniqueness of this summit is that when people come, they are equipped with information, tools, and guides that will help them to build sustainable businesses. Now, this year, our focus will be on leadership. And that's why I brought in some of the greatest minds when it comes to leadership on the continent and even in the world. So my speakers for this year will be Dr. Niyi Adesanya. Niyi Adesanya is a phenomenal leadership guru. He's a man that has been raised in our nation, and he has done amazingly well in helping captains of industries, entrepreneurs, and heads of organizations to be able to build businesses and structure their business in such a way that it will live beyond them, outlive them. And he's going to be coming on board to speak with us at this conference. Also, Dr. Linus Okore. Linus Okore is also another major leadership guru that has done a lot of work within the public sector and private sector, helping raise and train supernatural, unique leaders in the area of politics and governance, entrepreneurship and academia, and all the different aspects of life. These two amazing and phenomenal speakers will be joining me for this year's edition to share about leadership, to share about the kind of leader that can build a sustainable business and the kind of leader that can survive in the midst of the storm, leading in tough times and all those. And I'm going to be sharing on the back end on things that will help you to be able to succeed. So what we are doing tonight is I'm going to be speaking with Dr. Niyi Adesanya, and he's going to be sharing with us as we look at some of the things that he's going to be unveiling. It's just like a foretaste, and we're going to be discussing a lot of things around this summit. So if you want to be a part of the summit, it's coming up on Friday, the 27th of September at the Sheraton Hotel in Ikeja, Lagos. And you have two options. You can either register as a non-residential delegate, or you can register as a residential delegate. If you want to register as a non-residential delegate, then you register and the price is 500,000 naira only. 500,000 naira only, and that money covers for the entire event, covers for the materials. There's going to be breakfast, there's going to be buffet lunch. It's going to be an amazing, amazing time. Now listen, if you want to be a part of the residential part of this event, it's going to be 750,000 naira. For those that will be resident, that means you're going to be with us on Friday, and then we're going to have a unique session on Friday night. Then you check out on Saturday morning. So for those that are residential, Friday night we have a group coaching session where we're going to be able to hang out with you guys. And then on Saturday morning, we also have an hangout. So if you really want to be a part of this, now is the time. And I want you to take time to note those two numbers so that you can get the numbers and then register and be a part of it. But there's a discount going on right now, and the discount is going to be expiring on the 10th of August. So between now and the 10th of August, for the non-residential version, instead of 500,000, you pay 300,000. And for the residential version, instead of 750,000, you pay 500,000 only. So we're going to be discussing a lot, and I expect everyone, to be extremely on as we begin to share on business sustainability, how you can build, grow, sustain, and transfer to the next generation. Yes, so the leadership guru and the common sense guru today.
Well done, sir. It's good to be here.
How are you?
I'm good. I just finished like a 5 hours training. So I am here in a very borrowed space. So I just hope I'll be able to be free and communicate as much as I can. I can't go back home. I can't go back to the office. I just have to find a space. Well, it's good to be here, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for impacting lives. Thank you so much for impacting businesses. I know your passion for growth, and I've seen the results for people that you have been a blessing to, and they are all inspiration to people like us. And I must salute your doggedness, your sustainability, grace. I must also salute your generosity when it comes to knowledge and information dissemination. Thank you. God bless you, sir. So it's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. In fact, I've just been, when you were talking about your fire, I say, oh, this is our life. If you know how many meetings I've done, I just came off one now, just about 11 minutes ago, to quickly plug into this one. So, welcome. Now, when it comes to business, a lot of people have challenges. I said that before you came on board. The challenge of a lot of people is even starting the business at all. They are finding it difficult to start. They have the capacity, they have the competence, they have, they have what it takes to run a business, but they don't have the courage to start. They're just afraid. What if it doesn't work? So that's some people's problem. They have character, they have capacity, but they don't have the courage. So their starting is a problem for them. Is that, what if it works? What if it doesn't work? Fear of starting, fear of the unknown. So we have a category of people like that. Then we have another category of people that have started, but their problem is, how do I grow? So they say entrepreneurs should stand up. They too will stand up. They have complementary card, they have briefcase, but nothing is moving. Their turnover in a whole year is not even up to somebody else's monthly salary. And their business. So you are wondering, what kind of business are you? That is not even. So growing the business is a problem for them. They don't even know how to grow. I've grown the business, but they're afraid of sustainability. Can this business continue? I've been doing this now for 20 years, 25 years. Will it last 50 years? Will it last 100 years? So their problem is, can I be able to sustain this growth and keep this business going? And then some people have done it, and their problem now is transferring it to the next generation. And they are like, all their children are not interested. The children have gone. They are not interested in their father's business. I just came back from Cameroon last week, and those are some I did the whole day with business, the whole of. And those are some things I was saying that, look, you are doing hand over business to your children. They are not interested. You need to move from wills to trust and all that. So we're discussing a lot of things. So we have different groups of people like that. And like I've said, a survivor mindset cannot build a transgenerational business.
Yeah.
A survivor build it. Because then that business just for some, but you need to move from that kind of mindset in order to build something sustainable. So you are going to be speaking with us and speaking to the forthcoming conference. You have done amazingly well, sort of captains of interest, structure their business, put systems in place, helping them have the kind of right mindset, help them build. So I would like you to just speak generally to all these different categories of people, those that are afraid to start, those that want to grow, those that, so that let's just start sharing and see how we can help people tonight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think the first set of people, they have the capacity, let's just assume they have the know-how and they have everything. If they don't have the know-how, they need to go get the know-how. I'm always an advocate for people, whether you start a business or not, you need to go and learn business. If possible, from a 4 walls, it doesn't happen to be 4 years course. It can be through apprenticeship or internship or mentorship or relationship, but you must learn the rudiments of business. But for those who have the capacity and then they are afraid to start, what I would advise them to do is to put themselves in the midst of entrepreneurs that are doing good, that are doing great, that are achieving stuff. What they need is just that motivation. That they need to be around the people that can let them know that whatever they are earning can be dwarfed by what they can sell. So once they are in the midst of those people, the inspiration comes. It's just a spark. And once that spark happens, boom, they can always take the action, provided they know what to do. They have the capacity, like you said. And then for the second set of people who are struggling with growth, okay, we tried almost everything and it's not working, you probably need a third eye. You probably need an outsider to come and check your processes and see whether it is viable or probably you have to exit or try and look for other clients somewhere or so. But you need a third eye. You need an external factor to come in and check and help you look at the growth trajectory of your business. Now, you could have started a business that everybody's succeeding in, but you're not succeeding in. But is it a fit to your giftings? Is it a gift? Is it a fit to your abilities and your capabilities? So we need to figure that out. Then they need somebody who's an external person. That's why I will always advocate that whatever businessman, whenever you're doing, you should, by compulsion, get a business mentor. And sometimes so many things that we struggle with, when you just sit down with somebody who have gone ahead, and you realize that this is not even a big deal. I always tell people this. There was a time somebody who was nearly died because he was owing money. I think it was about 20 million naira that he was owing then. So he now went to meet one of his mentors, and he couldn't die. His BP was, he couldn't sleep. His BP was already up. So when he sat down with the mentor told him that, I have loan of 20 billion, and then 20 billion and 20 million. And then he said the man is living, he's sleeping. So the man had to calm him down. Sometimes you need things like that. So growth sometimes can be triggered by an external factor, somebody who has gone ahead, who can see the trajectory of your business and advise you accordingly. So the first set of people get into the space of entrepreneurs that are doing very well. All you need is that inspirational spark. The second set of person, you need probably a business mentor, or you need a consultant to come in and figure out what is happening, how you can take it to the next level. Now, 2 weeks ago, we had the the founder and the CEO of the founder of the largest microfinance bank in Nigeria, with staff strength of over 11,000 people. And then he was able to tell us that their business went, 37 years in business. The business that was almost dying took a different turn entirely when they brought in consultants for a whole week, sat down with them and were looking at all their processes and all their trajectories. And he said immediately those people left, it was just a matter of months. The kind of income they got in that microfinance, I'm talking about Lapo Microfinance Bank, the kind of interest income they got was mind blowing. Now the business has about 7 floor building. In Maryland, major Maryland. There, that tells you an external eye, a consultant can help you a great deal to help you figure out all those loose ends and everything. And then the third set of people, I can't even remember what you said about them right now. If you can just remind me, sir.
How do I sustain this thing that is growing?
Oh, yeah, handing over to the next generation. There's a long teaching on that. I always tell people this. Why is it that your children are not interested in your business? That's a big question we should ask. Because you have allowed the environment to erode the mind of your children. You have allowed them to listen too much to the radio and to the TV, and they've sold them the follow your passion lie. Follow your passion, follow your inklings. And then we all taught that in church. But most of the time, you realize the people who hand over businesses to their children, they never allow them go through that route. It doesn't matter whether you're a singer, you're a DJ, but you still have to go to Oxford to go and learn how to do business. I'm saying that in parable because there's a businessman that his daughter is he's making the daughter toe a particular line. And then no matter what you do, there's a particular one of their child or two that follows the path of the business. Now, and that's why I always tell people who transfer wealth from generation to generation, they are particular about what their children study in school. They are particular about what their children study in school. And then from toddler, they make sure that the children are connected to the business. And one of the reasons why your child may not like your business is because you have made them detest the business because they saw that their dad or their mom didn't have time for them because of the business. So it was created that dichotomy and that gap. And then they don't just only hate you, they also hate the thing that denied them in the presence of you. So people need to look at that and work on that. Now, let's just imagine that, okay, now you built the business, the children are not interested in the business. But the children should be interested in dividends or sharing shareholders' stuff. So what you need to do is to look for somebody who can run the business very well for you. And then when you figure that out, you put the person in charge. And then, we always tell people that there's no point. People can be shareholders, but you still maintain control. And your children just comes back and make sure that, okay, at the end of the year, we share dividends and all of us are smiling and everything. For a long time, Punch newspaper, before the children started taking over the helms of affair, it was not when the founder died, it was his brother that was in charge. He held on for a while until the children became matured enough to take over. When he resigned, and they took over. So there are things like that. You must be able to look at that from different angles, and then you know that it's not compulsory that your children take over your business if you have not done the homework right from the age of 1 to 7, and that's the formative years. You must have done that homework then, and then you can still revive it when they are teenagers. But when they have grown beyond that, it's a hard sell to bring them to that business. But then you can always let them know that there is something beautiful here, and everybody wants money no matter what. I hope that helps out.
So, a lot of businesses in part of have not been able to beyond the founder. So building a business has been a challenge. A lot of people. And like I always say, the first generation, most of the time, a pioneering and a generating generation. Second generation, most of the time, becomes a maintenance. But then by the third generation, they become an entitlement generation. And before you know it, the old stage of third generation should be a pioneering and generating, but the second generation, while maintaining what the first generation has done, should also continue to pioneer and generate new things, because the product and the may be the same, but the method and the market may not be the same. So they need to now know how to re-engineer things. And the same thing, third generation should enjoy the blessing of legacy, continue to innovate and reinvent and push the frontiers of the business. I know that recently I see that you started talking about centenary businesses. I've seen you. I'm like, okay, so my brother, we are in the same. So I want to talk about. Let's look into that. How can we build transgenerational business? How can we build business? What kind of mindset do we need to have? What are the things that we need to know to ensure that this thing that we are building is not just one have a job, have a boutique, have a restaurant, or have a construction company. How can we come to that place where we're able to build something that will now last?
Okay, good. I think the first thing everybody needs to do is look at the people who have done it. Who are they and how did they do it? And we have a very classic family, and most of the billionaires in Nigeria in dollars, actually all the 4 billionaires in dollars in Nigeria were not first generation wealth builders. They are either second generation, some are even third generation. Dangote is a third generation wealth builder. His maternal grandfather started the whole journey, and then he is now the richest. At the point in time, his maternal grandfather was the richest man in West Africa, and then his uncle was also the richest. So we need to look at those people and begin to ask ourselves, what did they do, and how did they get to the point where, for every generation, there is as if that there is a multiplication of that. And there's a particular family also in Egypt that we need to really study. And then the interesting thing about this family in Egypt, I can't remember their name, is that the richest man in Egypt, the second richest man in Egypt, and the fifth richest man in Egypt, they are brothers. And their father started the business. And then guess what? The richest man in Egypt, who is the brother of the other two, is the youngest amongst the three brothers. So that means he didn't just take the father's wealth, he multiplied it. Rabiu, Bua Cement, his father started the business when he was still 10 years. So he has transformed the business to something else. So we need to pay attention to those people and figure out what did they do. So one thing that they did is not that they didn't just build businesses and then transfer the business to the children. They also transferred what I call the intangibles. The business is the tangibles. There's the part of the intangible that people don't pay attention to. There is a mentality of a dantata. If you see them and you sit around them, you know that there's a way they reason, there's a way they think. And most people, they just say, okay, I want to leave a business for my children, but they don't know that there is a place of mentoring and infusing a particular kind of vision and values to those kids. Now, when you see anybody who is in the third and fourth generation, they always are boastful that the Adesanyas don't think like this. The Jantadas don't think like this. This is not the way we talk. This is not us. That thing has been done from century to century. Now, you said something about the fact that the first generation builds, the second generation sustains, and then the third generation is more like an entitlement generation. Now, it becomes like that because the guy who builds the wealth didn't pay attention. He only paid attention to his own children. He didn't pay attention to his grandchildren. Look at it. Anybody who has sustained wealth from generation to generation, most of the time they lived long to see the third generation, not just their second generation. And then they so much imbibe the culture across board. That is why any family that will build a business and leave it for the next generation, there is always a day or a week Sometimes in the festive period, the Muslim knows how to do this. When it is a layer, everybody, whether you are the child of the female stock or the male stock, everybody comes to the palace, what so to say, or to the house of the what's it called, the grandfather. And why are they doing that? They are infusing the culture, they are infusing the value, they are infusing the mentality of the family into those kids. And then when those grandchildren come in there, and then they have a way of working on their mind. So I've taken time to study the Medici family. They sustained wealth for over 300 to 400 years. And then there's one family right now that is, I mean, they are even a different ball game entirely. The Rothschild family, Rothschild. They've been, the progenitor of the Rothschild family started in 1740 something until today. Till today, sir, the Rothschild family still controls most of the big economy and everything that is happening when it comes to finances in the world. Now, there were some things that they do that we need to also pay attention to. And a Rothschild is a Rothschild. You will see it is more like, it's not like the church. What would you do in church now? When you see somebody who's from a particular church, you can always know. Those things are passed across. I mean, everybody in Redeem will go with the tambourine. It's passed across. There's a particular church that most of them, at the point that they were doing Jericho, it passed across. It passes across. So, as a family, what are you passing across? It's not just about stocks. It's just about building a structure so that they can be CEO. If they don't imbibe the culture that brought you to that point, they will lose it and they will misplace it because there is this stubbornness, there's this fight, there's this mentality that must be imputed. And above all, sir, there is the side of the covenant. That's why you see some fathers would take whatever God, whatever covenant they struck to get to that point. They take their children to wherever they got it from, and they more or less initiate the child into it. Whether it's Freemason, whether it's church, whether it's anything, they do that, deliberately do that. And anybody who wants to sustain wealth should also realize that as the progenitor, the first generation wealth builder, your job is to ensure and pray that you'll be alive to the point that your grandchildren, you would have a hand in grooming them and mentoring them. And that is why, sir, that the people who sustain wealth and transfer wealth from generation to generation, they also insist in a way who their children will marry because they don't want a son-in-law, a daughter-in-law that would deny their grandchildren from coming to them. So if they are bad people, I mean, if they are not Christians, then make sure that whoever comes to marry their children are not Christians. If they are Christians, then make sure whoever comes to marry their children are Christians. So as you can just leave these people, okay, marry whoever you love. No, no, no. They have to be tailored. When you look at the Medici family, then you realize that they were not marrying for love, they were marrying for destiny. And they were not even studying for passion. They were studying based on what the father wants. I mean, it was Giovanni. I mean, I can't remember the name of the son right now. The son came to meet him and said he wants to go and do painting, artistry, and everything. You know what Giovanni told him? He said, "Come here, I gave you your life, and I will tell you how to use that life." He didn't go study that. He went into banking because they were the first family that created all this credit notes and everything. They were the bankers of the Vatican. But this guy, the son, eventually became a banker after his father. And guess what? He was still able to fulfill his passion because all those Michelangelos and all those great artists, actually, he sponsored them with the money made from banking. I mean, they were building structures in his own building. So when people say, no, no, let them study anything, let them, no, 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 that's not it. People who build wealth, don't leave those things to chances. And that's why you see that the people who actually transfer wealth from generation to generation, they don't expose their children immediately to all this social media and everything. They control it. Even Mark Zuckerberg, that is into social media, control it with his children. They make sure that they don't go there. And most of the time, they even when they know that the public university will get or public schooling will get their children away from them, they do private schooling because they just want to imbibe the culture. It's a tough job, but it's something that everybody needs to look at. And I always tell people this: for the first generation wealth builder, I can guarantee you, sir, that you cannot, nobody can transfer wealth to the third generation. The best you can do is to the second generation if you don't attain sanity when you're rich. There is a sanity in the midst of wealth. And most people get carried away by the glamour of wealth, by the impact of wealth, that they lose their sanity. And once you lose the sanity, it's only the next generation after you that can attain that wealth. After that, they will squander it. The third generation will squander it. Why? Because you lost the ability to think straight. You lost the ability. You were carried away by everything, and you didn't do the mentoring that you're supposed to do. Everything is all about programming. When your child said, "I want to go and study music," he has been programmed by the media. When your child says, "No, no, no, I don't want to do banking, I don't want to do this and everything," they have been programmed by the media. So you can't afford the media, social media, to program your children. You have to do it deliberately. I didn't enjoy arithmetic or maths until I was in Form 5. Why? Because a guy came to my father and then they were talking about Pythagoras theorem, and I realized that from 4, I didn't even understand what it was. So I moved close to the guy, and then before we know what's happening, my first sitting I did 6 credits in maths, and then all this while I was not interested in it. Just one encounter with a guy who came to my father's house and was talking about it, and I moved close to the guy, and then hola, I started loving maths. So everything is about program. If your son said, "Okay, I want to go and do music, I'm not interested in your business," it's because number one, you have demonized your business to the point that you always told them that your business is more important than them. So they hated the business and they hated you. Why? Because the business took their father and their mother away from them. So all these things are deliberate. It has to be acted on deliberately. And that sanity, sir, is very important. And then people should know that you release the intangibles, that those values, those communication, that time where everybody comes together is not a time you just allow merriment. It's a time of indoctrination, family philosophy being indoctrinated, being entrenched in these young people, whether they like it or yes. And it's a deliberate thing because you know you have just limited time. Nobody can live forever. But you want to make sure that not just your son, there's one of your grandchild or two of your grandchild that you can benefit, that you know that okay, these people, when you leave, this is the next person to take over. I mean, that's very important for us now. I guess that's one of the things that we'll be teaching September 27 also. Everybody needs to get on board and make sure that they get there because we'll be breaking this thing down. And then you know what and what needs to be done. And everything I'm going to be teaching on is not, I've not passed any wealth across to the next generation, but I've taken time to study families. My next family will study are the Egyptians. Interesting, the first, the second, and the third richest men in Egypt are brothers. The third and the fourth are also brothers.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Brothers, fourth and fifth, third and fourth brothers, first, second, fifth brothers, and then the first, second, fifth, their father started the business, and these three guys has expanded the business more than their dad. There was a time in Egypt, their father, before he passed on, was about number 7 or number 8. In other words, his children has actually surpassed his achievements. And that's the prayer we're praying. You don't just want to start a business, hand over to your children that is worth 10 billion naira. And at the end of the day, when they're passing to the next generation, it's worth 1 billion naira. No, that's not what we're talking about. So that thing has to be done deliberately by the progenitor of the wealth. He has a lot of work to do, and he just must know what to do. And then if they come in September, on September 27th, they will surely know what to do. They will surely know what to do. They will surely know what to do.
Wow. That's the master class already. In fact, this is amazing. If you are listening to us right now, my name is Olumide Emmanuel, and my guest tonight is Dr. Niyi Adesanya, and we have been discussing on the Business Summit that is coming. Just giving you a foretaste of what to come. So the Business Sustainability Summit 2024 is an annual summit that started about 4 years ago, and it's going to be coming up on Friday, the 27th of September. The venue will be the Sheraton Hotel in Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria. You can join us either as a non-residential delegate or a residential delegate. As a non-residential delegate, is just and you're getting conference material, ability to listen to. I'm going to be speaking, Dr. speaking, and Dr. Linus Okore will also be speaking and sharing a lot of things that will help you to be the kind of and build a sustainable business, and then give you tools that will help you to actually build something that will outlive you. And I'm going to be a part of the event for the residential delegate, which is what it will be 750,000 naira only. And I advise people, if you're married, I always advise you, if you're up, then you learn together. Count that right now, and the discount closes on the 10th. So if you want to residential delegate, instead of paying 50,000, you pay just 500,000, and that 500,000 will cover for your one night hotel at Sheraton, breakfast, buffet lunch, buffet dinner. So, and then if you are residential, we're going to have a coaching session in the night, a group coaching where you hang out with me, because the meeting is from 9 a.m. to 5, and then 5 to 7, we'll go on break. People that are going, we go there. Those of us that are residential, from 7 to we now sit down and have another hangout. And then on Saturday morning, before you leave, we have another breakfast hangout. So it's an opportunity you cannot afford to miss. Instead of paying 750 with just 500,000 naira, you are on board, and you can come and enjoy yourself. So call those two numbers on the screen, and then for those that are non-residential, instead of paying 500,000, just pay 300,000 naira. 300,000 once you pay between now and the 10th, you will enjoy it. Now, I want to talk about, when you're speaking earlier about the importance of getting knowledge, you spoke about the importance of having a business coach, business mentor. I want to talk about that further. How important is personal for individuals, and how important is paying to be developed or mentored? Because a lot of people will pay a meeting and they'll be thinking, we're going to pay 500,000, and that when they get into trouble, one mistake, one error, one wrong decision can save millions, and people don't understand. So speak to the importance of personal development and paying good money to learn and to be mentored.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Recently, I always talk to men. Whenever I have a gathering, we have more men than women. But these days now, I realized I've been invited to women's programs severally. So I had to now do a research on, there's this 1%, 10%, 30, and 70% of the population based on their earnings. Then we were now trying to figure out how many women are in all these categories. And then you realize that, especially when it comes to billions in dollars, you have of over 3,000 people in that category. You have just about 200 women in that category. And then the guys who are actually making the big bucks in that category amongst women are not self-made billionaires. Most of them inherited the wealth from their grandfather or their mother, or it was based on divorce and settlements that they got the money. What am I trying to draw? Then we realized that we're trying to look at what are the things that the guys in the 1%, the ladies in the 1% did, the ladies in the 10%, and 30 and 70. And then one of the things that stood out for us is that the lady in the 70%, which is about $10,000 below, that's their earning capacity. $10,000 below. Those are the people in the 70% of the world's working population. One of the things that my people found out without necessarily telling them is that those people, they always look for free seminars. I mean, when I saw that, it just hit me so strong. Free seminars? Wow. Because you see, there is nobody who will give you the real substance just free. Like they say, there is no free lunch even in Freetown. Anything that is given to you free is to lure you into a bigger responsibility. And then people should know that the quality of people you meet at a free program is different from the quality of people you meet based on the value of the program or the fee attached to the program. And people should know this, that most of the time you don't come to a gathering because of content. You come to a gathering because of connection. Connection, the people who are wise know that when I go to a high paying event, I'm likely to meet some kind of people, and then can even take the business to the next level. So that is why anybody who is really serious about business, in as much as you do free events, you also need to be able to pay for events. Because, for instance, I will never go for a free event except I'm the one organizing it. So if I won't go for a free event, that means you will never see me in a free event. And people always look at it. About people who look at it, there was a time I went to have a conference in London, and I said free. No, one of my senior friends, my senior brother said no, take away free. Say it's strictly by invitation, and then you have to sift the people that will come, because if I see free, I will not attend. So a free program, the people that matters that may be an investor in your program may likely not come for a free program, and they always come for a paid program. Not all cases, but most of the cases, that is how it is. And then when you come for a paid program, and then I'm coming for a program, there's a way I perceive you as somebody who's serious. If you can invest so amount of money in your business, that shows me that you're ready to take your business to the next level. And doubt me not, the kind of information you get in a free event can never be compared to the one that you get in a paid event. And I think everybody needs to know that. And then you said something. It's also important that everybody knows that you can't run a business all by yourself. You need people. Look, this thing is unreal. And the guy who owns Starbucks, I can't remember his name right now. When they offered him Starbucks to buy for $3.8 million, he was still trying to look for the money. So he was negotiating with the owners and blah like that. And then someone who was part of his friend went behind him and then told the people who wanted to sell Starbucks those days that he's ready to pay $3.8 million cash. This was several years ago. And then this guy said, wow, I don't have the money. I'm still trying to look for the money. And lo and behold, one of his friends now told him that he should come to the law office, because his friend was a lawyer, a junior lawyer, that he needs to come and see his senior partner. And guess who the senior partner was? Bill Gates Sr. Microsoft was not yet prominent at this time. Bill Gates Sr. was the senior partner in that law firm. When this guy told him what is happening to Starbucks there, you know what Bill Gates Sr. did? He went to that investor that was going to drop $3.8 million. And he looked at him and told him that this guy, the owner of Starbucks now, is interested in this deal. And I want you, that's the investor who was going behind his back, to back off. the guy said that was the end of the conversation. The guy backed off, kept his $3.8 million cash, and this guy was able to procure that investment. Now, when you look at that, then you realize that for Bill Gates to be in the richest man category, I mean, top 10 richest man category for almost 20 years, almost 2 decades, is not just because of his ingenuity. It's because he has people behind him that can make him get some deals that people normally will not get. So if you're not born like the Bill Gates, then you need to start looking for people that can help you go into some particular doors and cause some things to happen for you. So that's where business mentoring comes in. So when we say people get a business mentor, look, your struggle can be dispelled by just one statement from a business mentor. Dispelled immediately. Just one statement. And sometimes you are not even asking them questions, just hanging around, just sitting around them. Because we always tell people that what will change your life will not be taught. COUGHT. What will change your life will be caught. COUGHT. In other words, and you catch through observation by hanging around those people. It just make things happen. It just open your mind to a lot of things. So that's the reason why people pay the rent and then getting a business mentor. And sometimes business mentors don't come cheap. Business mentors don't come cheap. Look, it's just normal. You come and seek my advice today, I will give it to you. Come and seek my advice tomorrow, I will give it to you. Anytime you come, I will give it to you. But there's a kind of advice, there's a kind of movement that you may not see me move for you. I will definitely will not move some. I will definitely not would not leave a paid event or somewhere that I make my get my bread and butter, my wine from, and then leave that so that I can help you pursue whatever you want to pursue as somebody who wouldn't pay for mentoring. It's not going to happen. I would advise you, I will tell you, go and meet this person, I will go for my daily bread. But if substance has left you, you have paid for something, then I can say, okay, you know what? Income is coming from here too. So I can move towards that angle. So everybody should, by default, get a business mentor. It's absolutely important. We go on and on and on and on and about it. Now, Dangote is wherever he is right now. He has a business mentor. His uncle, his grandfather, maternal grandfather, maternal uncle has a business mentor. Mark Adeniga had a business mentor. His mother was a successful trader. What's it called? Rabi Bua has a business mentor in his father. Femi Otedola, come on, the son of a former governor, business mentor. And then everybody needs to know that your business mentor is absolutely important in getting to. And let me also say this, for those of you who are listening to us, it is not just enough for you to come to this program yourself. You need to bring your next generation to this program with you, because it's easier for you people to hear the same thing than for you to try to distill what you heard to them. Bring them with you. You know, I had an encounter like that. I spoke somewhere in Lakoe, and I was having a program in Abuja. A man who was in Lakoe brought 2 of his sons with him to the program in Abuja. That man was serious because he heard about this next generation transferring wealth to the next. That this is powerful. He said, "Oh no, I'm bringing my sons," and he brought the 2 of them to the event. And I would advise people to do that. Get yourself registered, and as long as they can understand. Sometimes, even if they are teenagers, they don't understand. Just put them in the room. There's something about association. There's something about we call it the environmental anointing. It can rub off. Mentality can begin to change. Then they may just pick 1 or 2 things that can be useful for them in the future. So don't just come alone. You know your son or your daughter is of age. They're past the age of 18 or even a teenager, bring them along, register for them, come together, sit down, compare notes, argue about all the processes you had, all all this while, and how can they see themselves taking charge? And that's how the grooming starts. And I think everybody who is of age, who has a grown-up child, to bring them for this program. I don't know whether Dr. Olumide will give you a discount on that, but you need to drag your next generation to this program. We're talking about wealth sustainability. You need to drag your next generation here. And if you are 70 and you have grandchildren, you have some, I mean, drag all the three generations, drag them there, let them come and hear. It's very important because your job is to make sure that the generation that has the tendency to squander, which is the third generation, is mentored by the fourth generation that builds. If you miss it and you hand over the mentoring of the squandering generation to the sustaining generation, which is the second generation, is gone. So the builder must, as a matter of urgency, mentor the generation that has the potential to squander, which is the third generation. And that's how you keep this thing going on and on and on and on in the home.
Wow. Amazing. So, like I always say, if you don't pay attention. Thank
Yes, sir.
these seminars because of the values we live by, because of our passion to give back, and different events, free to help people. And at the end of the day, you realize that people just go from seminar to seminar, event to event, taking notes, but never acting on it. Because when people don't pay, they don't pay attention. And the fact that it's cheap, it's free because for it. So you need to invest, realize that all the seminars and events we have done where people have paid heavily, the chance of success is over 90%. The success when people pay heavily, but free seminar, the success rate 30%. And people just think it didn't cost, so we need to take advantage. Then as regards to men, you need under mentorship. So when you go for this event, we're also going to be open to be mentored. I remember one of my mentees, he called me at a point before she became a member of the Billionaires Conclave. All these people that will be calling you my father, my mentor, even though there's no commitment. So she was in that category. And when you are someone that is and generous, they will just take you for granted and become it. So she will come to answer. She will answer. Then I kept telling her, why not join the Billionaires Conclave so that you can meet other people. You can later, I can't afford it. Problem. Then all of a sudden she said she wants to join. Ready now. She's seeing what's happening with other people and joined. Then she called me one day to ask me some questions, and I began to do this, take this number, call this person, tell them I sent you. So she paused. She said, "Sir, that this question I asked you the same question 4 months ago. You didn't give me any, you just so you all my network on you for free. No, what network? I say so. That's why so many times people, there are many things they are missing.
Yeah.
Going to it. You are paying for for an event, and you let go of 750. The quality of people you meet in that room will be different. So if you are listening, all those numbers 0809 144 7423 or 080 or send the text, send the WhatsApp, send the chat, get back to you. You get a part of this the 10th of August. The discount is open till 10th of 100,000. But if you pay before the 10th of August, 300,000. Like you said, you can come with your wife, come with your family member. And then if you want to start of the fully residential version, 750,000, you pay 500,000. Instead of 750,000, you pay 100,000. And that money will breakfast, dinner, breakfast again. And one night hotel at Shell. And in the evening, we're going to mentorship coaching. And then on the Saturday morning before you go, we can do the same again. These are not possible. Cannot afford all those numbers. If you are trying to register all the numbers, send the message, send the text, WhatsApp. I will send you all the details. No one the 10th of August before discount window we close. As we begin, would like to give us your final word and your final to people and the.
Okay, thank you so much. You know what? Just when you mentioned the wife, I was only mentioning the children. I think you brought the wife into play, which is very important because actually, when you look at life expectancy, and the women have a longer life expectancy in any time than the men. So there's a possibility that as a man, you may leave the scene before your wife. So and you want to make sure that your wife have the necessary knowledge to be able to take whatever you have left behind, and probably your wife is that stopgap between you and the next generation. Although you're the same generation, but because probably God forbid we pray that we live long, but you need to bring your wife along, not just your children right now. Bring your wife along. Let us be on the same page so that we can cover all ground. And just like you mentioned, it's always good to pay for things. I mean, a good example comes to mind when two people wanted access to a particular king that is in my network. The one that didn't pay got the phone call. I made the phone call. I opened the space. Okay, you can see the person, and the person went to see the king. I don't know what came out of that, but the second person who paid did not. I didn't put a phone call across because it was a matter of land being snatched, being taken. I said, meet me at the palace at so time. And then I went ahead of him, spoke to the king, and he came in. If he had gone on his own, according to the king will have ordered him out of the city. But then, just imagine, I went ahead of him, sat down with the king, and the guy came in, and they were able to rescue an investment of so many years back now of over 150 million naira. An investment of 150 million will have lost. But then he paid. The other one did not pay. I don't know how the other one got to the king. I don't know what happened. I called the king, no doubt about somebody's coming, but I didn't go. Payment will move me. Your commitment will move me. If you're not committed, I can always give you my advice, but you can't compare with somebody who paid. That's why payment mentoring is also very, very, very important. My last word to everybody is this: look, tomorrow, Dr. Olumide will be here with my good friend Linus Okore, and they will say a lot of things. But take this from me: whatever you've heard today and whatever you will hear tomorrow is a tip of the iceberg compared to what you will hear in September 27th. And then we're coming with research. We're not just coming with fables. We're not just coming with theories. We're going to share with people, with you, the things people have done. And those of you who have followed me very well, you know that my speakers are not just young speakers. I deliberately choose my speaker that I've done 40 years, 50 years. At the point in time, it was Christopher Collade, it was Godi Hebrew, it was Pat Tomi, and now I just got the Lapo man. Lapo has been in business for over almost 38 years, and that is a feat that is not. And those things are the things, experiences that we're going to bring on board, our conversations with them, the secret that is shared. How can you begin to implement this thing in your 2 years and the 5 years business to make sure that you survive? Look, sir, anybody who's under the influence of our voice right now, You're not in business yet, but you have done 10 years. I don't care how much you have made. I don't care the kind of resources that you have. It may be in billions. I don't care. Until you cross that 10 years, you're not ready yet. You're not set. And guys, listen to me. Because you have billions in the first few years, we see people that had billions in their first 2, 3 years, they are nowhere to be found right now. What do you need to do to make sure that you survive the 10 years and you start the business after 10 years? I'm sure Dr. Olumide is ready with his nugget and with his, well researched teaching. I am ready, and I'm sure Linus is also ready. This is a program we don't want to miss. So we want to make it a family gathering, not just you alone. Come with your wife, come with your next generation, and if possible, if the third generation is also above a particular age, drag them in. Get the hotel for them in Marriott or in Sheraton, sorry. Get the hotel for them. Call Dr. Lumide. They help you do a very good discount with, okay, it comes with a fee.
Yeah.
Pay for the hotel. Let it be a family picnic. Remember, he also promised that there will be an evening time with him. You cannot quantify what will happen there. Whatever you paid can never be quantified with what you will get at that evening session. Not even the morning session. That evening session is where it will not be guided by slides. It will not be boxed by slides. People don't know that when you prepare a slide, you're already boxed. You're already boxed when you use slides, but it will not be boxed by slide. It will be open. Then you can practically dip your hands into it and pull out stuff. That is where the change actually happens. So don't just come for the daytime. Make sure you register to also stay over. And please let me also say this. Although we'll talk more about that on the 27th of September, there is more to Dr. Olumide Emmanuel than what you will get in 27th of September. So when you're there on the 27th, pay attention to the next level. Pay attention to the next instruction. There is more. I bet you that. That's my final word. Doctor, thank you so much for this. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So let me release you to go. God bless you. Thank you. So everyone, I'm going to so that you can have access to this video. I'm going to save it on IGTV, and I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel at Dr. Olumide Emmanuel on YouTube. If you are not following me on social media, press the follow button and follow me now, so that you'll be able to get a notification every time we come on board. Our next session is supposed to be tomorrow with Linus Okorie, but it has been shifted till Wednesday. So on Wednesday, the 31st, we're going to be having the next edition by 8 p.m., myself and Linus. So I'm going to save this video so that you can watch it and you can share and let other people see this video. I need you to make sure you register before the 10th of August so that you can take advantage of the discount. Fully residential is $750, but if you are paying before the 10th of August, you pay $500. Non-residential is $500, but if you pay before the 10th of August, you pay $300. If you are coming in as a couple, husband and wife, then the husband will pay $750, the wife will pay 50% of that. Husband pays $750, wife pay 50% of that. And you need to take advantage of this opportunity and make sure you come on board. The phone numbers on the screen are the phone numbers that you need to call. So if you're having problem registering with the link, call these two numbers, save the number. Those are my two global numbers. Save the numbers, and you'll be glad you did. Register and take care of yourself. So thank you everyone for tonight. I'll see you again on Wednesday when I bring on Linus Okorie. So tomorrow's meeting has been postponed. So we will no more be having the session tomorrow night. It will now be taking place on Wednesday. Olumide Emmanuel and Linus Okorie. God bless you all. Thank you for joining me tonight, and bye for now.